We're going to be making a delicious spinach pizza with 3 cheeses. The dough that we make was inspired by a really fine Italian chef. He has an amazing restaurant and his pizza is second to none. This is an adaptation of his pizza recipe. He never gave me the real recipe. We just had to try everything. You know, tried it about 100 times before we got something akin to his pizza. So 2 cups of warm water, 1 package of active dry yeast. Let this proof, and you can make the dough right on your counter. Start with 3 cups of all-purpose flour. You're going to use 5 cups altogether, and 2 teaspoons of fine sea salt. Mix this all together. You can use a whisk if you want, or just your fingers, but try to get the salt throughout the flour. I like this method because it's, you know, using your hands. It's the artisanal pizza is alive and well everywhere. Everybody's making it. In my neighborhood here, we have a pizza truck that comes with an oven in the truck. A very nice business for my friend, and he makes pizzas to order right in your own backyard. So you can have him come, serve at parties. It's so delightful. So here we have our yeast. Let's give it a stir.
Martha, do you prefer to use the dry yeast over the fresh?
Well, it's so readily available, and most people can get the dry yeast in the supermarket. Right. You can use cake yeast, no problem if you can get it. We can find it here only in bakeries.
Right.
Right.
Remember, I live in the boondocks. So I'm just making my well with our water, and I start by using a fork to go around. It's sort of like I make my pasta dough. And then I'll add the rest of the liquid, hopefully without breaking the well. And this is all only to save time washing a bowl. You can do it in a bowl very easily.
Do you have any tips or advice for somebody who's maybe not so used to working with bread or yeast products? Your
yeast should be proofed in water no hotter than 115 degrees. And yeast is a substance that reacts with the starch or sugar to form alcohol and carbon dioxide, which gives you the airiness, the rise of the dough, the ultimate dough. So you want to not kill it by hot water. So here we are, almost ready to start the kneading process.
What are some of the other methods you could use to make the pizza dough?
Well, the fastest way is in a stand mixer with a dough hook. We just wanted to do something a little bit fun. A lot of people don't have a stand mixer, and I just want to make the recipes as accessible and as useful to as large an audience as possible. When people ask me the tools that I must have in the kitchen, I always say a stand mixer, food processor, a good set of pots and pans, and a good set of knives, and a good counter to work on. So you see how nice this is becoming? So a lot of people ask how to knead. I'm using basically the heels of my hands, not my fingers as much, even though they're completely covered with dough. And I'm pulling the top toward me, and then pushing the bottom away. Pulling, pushing.
Is there anything you're looking for texture-wise while you do this?
Yes, a baby's bottom.
Okay.
I can feel it becoming elastic. The gluten has to relax. So it's going to rise in an oiled bowl for about 2 hours prior to putting it in the refrigerator overnight.
And why do you let it sit in the refrigerator overnight?
It's resting. It's making a finer, more tender dough. And it gives you time to get all your toppings and fillings ready for your big pizza party that you're going to have on Friday night. So now this is rested for 2 hours at room temperature. And we're going to cut this into 4 equal pieces. Just use your bench scraper to do that. And these will be your crusts. Enough for a sizable calzone, enough for a 12-inch pizza, or enough for a skillet pizza, which has a little bit thicker crust. This is a method that I learned making pistolet or French boule. And you just pinch the bottom until you get a nice smooth top and put that on a well-floured baking sheet. This is what's going to go into the refrigerator overnight to rest the gluten, ferment the yeast a little bit, and make a more flavorful dough. Okay, so here we have our dough. It's looking really good. And this is what you want to form into your base for your pizza. 12 inches round, I'm working on a piece of parchment paper. This really simplifies a lot of problems for people who haven't made pizza before, because we have a stone in the oven heating to 550 degrees. That stone is piping hot, and it will cook a pizza in approximately 10 minutes. So this is very nice. No need to fling the pizza up into the air unless you are adept and expert. I've had it stick to the ceiling. So just keep stretching the dough to get to the desired diameter of 12 inches circumference.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I froze.
Pi D. Okay, beautiful. It's flat and even and looking good. Now the topping is delicious. We have Gruyere cheese, grated. Sprinkle that all over your top. Now you can leave about 1/4 of an inch around the edge if you want a nice edge. We also have mozzarella, fresh buffalo mozzarella. This lovely mozzarella melts beautifully in the oven. The pecorino is a salty cheese, adding a lot of flavor. And the Gruyere just gets nice and stringy. And it's also very flavorful. We also have a couple garlic cloves that are slivered. You can put a garlic sliver here and there. And then I think we'll do the spinach. These are washed baby spinach leaves, which go on last. And at the end, we're going to put some mint leaves on. They go so well with the spinach. And now a sprinkling of black pepper. A sprinkling of red pepper flakes would be nice too. Some salt. And a drizzle of olive oil. This helps the spinach cook without burning. And this is a peel. This helps a lot to get your pizza in and out of the oven. So right into the oven. Now take your peel all the way to the back of the stone and then just gradually slide this off, positioning it in the middle of the stone. Set your timer for 10 minutes. It's time to get the pizza out of the oven. It is exactly 10 minutes. That looks so amazing. Now that looks like it comes from the best restaurant, doesn't it? So just slide this right off onto your cutting board. Don't use this as a cutting board. It's really needs to stay nice and smooth. And there you have an amazing pizza. To just add a little more flavor, a few pieces of mint leaf. You'll like the taste of the mint with the spinach. It is really delicious, and it really does enhance the pizza. Now, you can cut with a mezzaluna like this. I guess I'll make 8 pieces. I'll have to practice if I'm going to work in my own pizza parlor. Serve this piping hot with some pieces of lemon. I just have to show you underneath. The crust is a beautiful color, just like you'd find at your own pizzeria. Have a piece, guys?
Yes, please.
Please help yourselves. Let me know what you think. Pretty good, right?
It's really good.
It's delicious.
So good.